Apologize. Welcome in this new training. Here I will share all the crispy insights that allowed me to go from being a weak drug addict suffering of ADHD to a successful 6 figures online business owner and a high performer. You have to understand that high performance has been the main root of my success and of my development, and that's what I'm using right now to coach and develop my clients. This training, it's going to be pretty intense. I recommend anyone that is not willing to lose it all so you can actually achieve absolute freedom to just don't go even over that training, because it will make no sense to you. Okay, that's something that you do 100% or you don't even do it, because otherwise you're just going to give up. That's just a matter of fact. If you don't know me, or if you're not coming from this main Instagram page, this is my main Instagram account. My name is Jullian. I've been turning ADHDers into high performers for the past 12 months. I develop and coach over 30 people. The goal for the year of 2023 is to develop 100 people, for the year of 2024 and above 1,000 people. So the first main important thing, so you can actually unlock this willpower, is your why. And don't get me wrong, we're going to get through that in the training. You might not know your why yet, which is completely fine. But you will have to find it to have a meaning for what you're doing. Okay? You cannot do things just for yourself. Like if it's for you, that won't be enough. That's a fact. So I've understood that there's only 4 families of why, and everything else is just bullshit. Okay? So the first thing is God, the second is purpose, the third is family, the fourth is pain. That can be all of them, okay? But that's mainly the thing, okay? Either you believe that you're a son of the Lord and you're just here to accomplish his mission, either you might not believe in God, or you might just believe that the reason why you're on earth is because you're here to reach your full potential and to help as many people as you actually can. Either it's for your family, for your loved one, you just believe that your main role is to provide, to protect, and to preserve your family and your loved one as much as you actually can. The fourth one is a pretty unusual one, is pain. You've been suffering so much in your life that the only medication, the only remedy, I think we say that like this, the only way for you to heal is by achieving your full potential, if that makes sense. If you heal because life's boring, just fuck off, okay? Like life's boring. That's a fact. Especially when you have ADHD, you get bored pretty easily. I have people that come to me and they're like, "Yeah, I just want to do that because I just want to change." Like the thing is, even like reaching your full potential is boring. Starting a business is boring. Like waking up every day at 5 a.m. is boring. Like training every day is boring. Coaching and developing people every single day is boring. But as long as you do something repetitively, like as long as you do something, consistency is boring. And that's the whole point of learning it. That's the whole point of learning the right skills so you can actually handle consistency. And don't get me wrong, we are on the spectrum where, I mean, if you go right now on like ADHD pages and all that stuff, like everyone is literally saying like, oh, if you have ADHD, you can't be consistent. Like fuck off. Like if you start believing those things, like don't even try it. Because like your mind will actually block you from the top beginning. Because if you don't believe something, like you will never be able to achieve it. So the first stage is to actually believe that you can do it. The second one is to put so much certainty in your skills. It's to put so much work in your skills that you become certain that you can actually achieve it. Because like just looking at yourself in the mirror and tell like I can do it, like it won't work. Like you can look at yourself for like ever and say I'm gonna have abs. Like if you don't do abs, you won't have abs. Okay, so it starts from the point that like you believe that you can learn the right skills and achieve X, Y, and Z goals, and then actually learning the right skills and putting yourself in the position where every single day you actually do it. When you become not consistent and that you give up, then you could just start again. And that's how actually people become consistent. It's that when they actually stop, they just keep going again. Okay, like every person that is telling you like, yeah, I've been doing this like every single day. Like, I mean, there's some days where they fuck up. They just don't tell you, or you were just not there when they fucked up. okay? And they say it to the audience, to their friends, or to their mom, or to whatever, okay? We're all humans. The most important thing is to get back on your feet over and over, okay? Finding your why can be your why, and that's what I wanted to say to you just before when I said, like, if you don't have your why yet, that's completely fine. Finding your why can be actually your mission. If you don't have a purpose yet, finding what's your purpose can be your purpose, okay? And that will become your purpose. And that's how I've been myself. When I was like 20 years old, 21 years old, and I was like a private chef when I ran my first business, I didn't have a why. I didn't have a purpose. Like, my purpose was to make money. Like, I just wanted to get rich, which made no sense because, like, I was not believing in God. I was not believing that I was on earth to, like, achieve my full potential. I was not in pain, or not as much as, like, I am now, let's say. And I didn't have a family. So, like, it was, like, I literally had no reasons to, like, get rich, okay? Now I believe in God. I believe that my mission is to be on earth to help as much people as I want. I want to have a family, and I know so much more than what I knew before, that I'm much more in pain than I was before. I'm suffering much more than I was suffering before, okay? I just know how to handle it now. Before, when I was suffering, I was like, oh fuck, I'm in pain, I have to stop. Now I know that, like, pain is just, like, part of the process, and that's the reason why I train so hard, because I understood and I accepted and I acknowledge pain. That makes sense? So finding your why can be your why. That was literally me 5 years ago, okay? Burning money, using drugs, addicted to sex and parties, okay? So I was smoking weed, I was drinking a lot of alcohol. When I was partying, I was using, like, artificial drugs and all that stuff. I was smoking all the fucking time, like, packs a day, smoking a lot of weed. And the problem that it was, like, I was so attached to money that I was making money, I mean, at that stage, I was making, like, almost 10K a month as a private chef. So I was living a good life, so yeah. Finding your why has to come from a deep desire to change. That's it, If again, like, if you are comfortable with where you are right now, if you're okay with just not being the person that you should actually become, like, nothing is going to happen. You really have to feel that you need a change. And there's nothing as deep as learning where we come from. Okay, that's, for me, has been, like, the game changer, and that's how I understood that I was actually not fulfilled enough. I understood that, like, I was lacking something, and what I was lacking is knowing, why I'm here on earth. That's literally this, and that's what comes back to the why. Like, either you're on earth because, like, you're a son of God, either you're on earth because you believe that you have a purpose and you're here to help to achieve. You're here to help as many people as you can. Either you're on earth because you want to build a family and you want to protect them and blah 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 blah. Either you on earth you still don't know why, but you're so much in pain that you need to make a change. So you actually stop, kind of like, let's say, the negative suffering process, because suffering is good as long as you know why you're suffering. Okay, like training makes you suffer, but for good reasons, to become stronger, to become healthier, to become, like, a more protective person. Okay, but suffering from, like, drug addiction, for example, there's nothing good about suffering about drug addiction. If that makes sense. So I'm a Christian because that's how I've been raised. Like, my parents are, like, Christians. I mean, yeah, they're not really Christian, but, like, they I mean, I'm born in France, kind of, like, they kind of believe, my dad kind of believed in God, so, like, I went to, like, the normal process that kids go, but, like, we were not, like, a Christian family, like, reading the Bible or going to the church on Sunday and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm a Christian because the way I've been raised, but my lifestyle is near Buddhism and my philosophy is near Islam. Like, I feel like philosophically I'm like Muslim. So I'm a real ADHD. Like, I'm a little bit all over the places. I've read a little bit of the Bible. I've read a little bit of the Quran, and I'm interested into, like, religious writings and all that stuff, but not yet into something I can say, okay, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jewish, I'm a Buddhist, I'm Taoist, like whatever, okay? I don't attach to one religion specifically, but I believe that there is a higher force that we can actually call God, okay? I'm not here to discuss religion, but only to say that as long as you won't believe that just being born is the most priceless gift you received, things are going to be difficult. That's a fact, okay? Like, if you're not aware about the fact that, like, being alive is priceless, like, you're going to be completely fucked, you're going to be completely screwed, and you won't be able to make that change. And the reason why, it's because life is not fair. That's a fact. Like, you can do all the good, like, in the world, okay? Like, be the best person ever, and like tomorrow, you just like wake up and you end up with a terminal cancer and die within 3 months. Like the chance for that to happen are really low, but like it can happen. And like we see that every single fucking day. Or like tomorrow you can just wake up and then you cross the street and then like a car hits you and you die. Or like you end up like handicapped, yeah, like paralyzed or something. Again, really low chance that to happen, but it can happen. Or one of your loved one can pass away. Like, this happen much more often. Or you can just being born in the wrong family or with a disease, and so on and so on and so on. There is many times and many experiences where like life is not fair. So if you do not attach yourself to a higher force, like again, you don't need to be religious for that. You just can like believe in energy, for example, okay, and believe that you came on earth for like one specific reason, whatever. If you do not attach yourself to a higher force, you will act like a victim each time bad things happen. Oh fuck, that's the fault of blah blah blah. Oh, that's the fault of Paul. That's the fault of James. That's the fault of whatever. Okay, without never saying to yourself, you know, in my example, because I believe in God, I think every negative or tough experience that I'm experiencing are part of my growing process. That's a fact. Like every time that something really tough happened to me, I'm like, that was God's plan. Like I needed to leave this. I'm like, this does not happen for no reason. Definitely, every single thing that happened in my life happened for a reason. Even the worst thing ever. And like I won't open up like what really happened in my life, but like this is what I believe. And when it's so bad that it traumatized me, I believe that I'm the one that has to break the chains of this trauma, so I'm not gonna pass away the trauma to my children's. Okay, so I believe that when something extremely tough and extremely difficult happens to me, I'm here to be able to handle it. So when I have chance, I don't pass it to them. Okay, God's plan testing me for what I say I want to achieve in my life is only there to give me test, because I'm saying I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to achieve that, and He's like, okay, let's testing you. Let's see if you can actually handle the discomfort. Let's see if you can actually handle the fire. However, I have not always believed this, to be honest, and that's a fact. Like when I was like a teenager, before turning into like a teenager, not a teenager, but until I was like 20, 21 years old, I was filled with anger, and the reason why I was filled with anger, it's because the people before me, it was either my dad, my mom, or my grandfather, or my ancestors, didn't break that cycle, didn't break that trauma. They were thinking that their family was responsible for them. They were not. It was their fucking job to actually break the cycle and to actually heal the trauma. But they did not. So they transmute that to me. Okay? So when I was 15 years old, I had everything I needed in my life. But I thought my family didn't love me enough, didn't give me enough, didn't teach me enough. And trust me, I didn't like any single thing. But that's the way I grew up with. That's the feeling I grew up with. And today, there's still people that can tell me like, oh, like, and that happened literally like yesterday, 24 hours ago. Like I got a guy on Facebook that gave me a comment, and he was like, I'm sure you received like tough love, like you didn't have enough love when you grew up. Which again, like it was just my mind. But my mind, because of like the mind of my dad, the mind of my granddad, the mind of my ancestor, okay? When, again, in fact, like most of people out there, my family were doing their best to raise me. And that's a fact. Like right now, you can be in a position where you, like how like my dad has been a cunt, like my mom, she's been a bitch, my grandfather, my blah, 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 my coworker, like people are trying their best, like for real. In some cases, like, you're really gonna meet like fucking bastards, but most of the time, even when people are going wrong with you, like, they don't do this like on purpose. They just fucked up. That's the truth. They so traumatized that that's the way they actually behave. But again, life's not fair, and when it's not, it hurts hard in the face. Okay? And I believe my family, like many others, had gone through a lot without really being able to fight this opponent, without being able to heal the trauma. So I end up being a 15-year-old teenager without any guidance or any support, living by myself and not in the best place in the world. I was watching a long-form content from Andrew Tate, and it was like his brother, like Tristan, was talking, and someone was asking him, like, do you actually believe that Dubai is a good place to raise kids? And he was like, so Dubai is not a good place to raise boys. Dubai is only a good place to raise girls. Why? Because this is a really protective place. This is a really healthy, this is a really safe place. And Tristan and I do not believe that boys and men should actually grow up in a such safe place. And Tristan was giving like the example of Eastern Europe, like Romania, as growing a man, growing like a boy, because he's gonna go at school, and like if he's like messing up with a kid, he's gonna be punched in the face, which like won't never fucking happen in Dubai. Like there's no fights in schools in Dubai. So that means that he's like a boy will actually grow up in a such protective environment that he's gonna end up at like 20 years old not actually being able to defend himself. Okay, and that's kind of like the place where I've been growing up, you know, because like I was living like in like a city in France that was like pretty, you know, like it was a tough city. That's a fact. Like it was a really tough city. I was by myself, 15 years old. I was always outside, and I've been through drug addictions, like small crimes, like street fights, and the mix of everything that led me to be homeless for a few weeks back when I was 21. It didn't last for too long. It was like 6 weeks, but I was still without house. You know, I was not living in the street because I've been living in the street, but like by like my own choice when I was traveling back when I was like a little younger than that, when I was 20 years old. But back then, like at this time, like it was not my choice. I literally ran out of money, and I didn't want to go back to my family and be like, hey, like I don't have job, I don't have money, because I was already like in my journey of like financial freedom. Okay, so it was just because of like bad decisions that I made, because of this, that I ended up with no money, and I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna fix my problems by myself, and I fixed it. Hopefully, along all those terrible experiences, my main expertise, which at that stage was chefing. Okay, so I started being a chef like at 15 years old when I dropped out of school, and I stopped at 22. Okay, I started working online when I was like 22, 23 years old. Hold me back from death. That's a fact. The reason why this hold me back from death is because, like, as a chef, you can be completely fucked up and still have a job. Because like most of chefs are like completely fucked up, you know, like most of them are like drug addict and all that stuff. So it's the kind of job like you can do even if you're fucked up. Right now, like running my own business, like I can't be fucked up. There's departments inside of my business, like sales. Like if you're a sales professional, like you cannot be fucked up. Like you cannot like smoke weed on a daily basis. You cannot get drunk. You cannot like go and party. Like it can't happen. Otherwise, like you pay based on your performance, on the results you bring to the company. And when you're a drug addict, like you don't get results. Like you don't bring results to the company, so you just fucked up and you can't do this. But like as a chef, like they don't really care. They already exploit you. Like you're already a slave working like 14 hours a day, so they don't actually care if you drink alcohol. After my homeless experience at 21, I started my first business and collected almost a six-figure within a year. It was like, I think it was like 75,000 in dollars, US dollars. Then COVID came, so I decided to close the biz with 30K liquid. It was like a little more of that, but yeah, that's approximately this. COVID was not the main reason why I shut down the business. I actually shut down the business because I was too young and I didn't have any opportunities to scale. I mean, I was too young mentally, and I was too young and broke mentally to see scale opportunity. So I was just like, oh, I cannot make more money, so I have to close the business and do something else. It was really dumb, but that's how I actually was behaving. I was almost still like a drug addict, so like my brain was not functioning as well as it does right now. During this year of building the biz, I started to change my habits. I quit drugs, parties, and even started to work out. Okay, I started to work out every day again. So I was not using drugs anymore, or maybe like really like little, you know, like I was partying maybe like once a month, something like this. But I mean, a few months ago, I was still like using it. So, you know, I was not healed yet. I knew that will be enough, so I decided to leave my work country. That was like Switzerland at the time. I worked in Switzerland for about 3 years. From like 20 to like 22, so 20, 21, 22, yeah. And I flew to Panama, where I decided to start my new life. Okay, that's where my entrepreneurial online journey started. Once there, I had so much free time that I decided to study Buddhism, but more specifically, one of their most common practice, meditation. Yeah. This is me. I was not in the fucking temple or whatever, but I was absorbing all the information, and I was like, okay, I'm a fucking monk. You can see that like I kept the nice head like this. Within a few months, I have accomplished over 300 hours of practice. I'm almost 1,000 right now, like today when I'm talking to you. Every spare time I had, like literally, I was spending it alone, by myself, in my room, sitting in silence. That was literally this. I mean, I had nothing to do. Like, when I was like waking up at like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, on site I went to my first training, then I was coming back, then I was studying a little bit, then I was, you know, like doing some stuff online. I mean, afterwards, like I had like plenty of time, so I could like read, I could like watch trainings, I could go back and train again for the second workout, but like at some point, like I needed to do something. And because I was so focused on my development, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna keep meditating, I'm gonna experience things. So yeah, every spare time I had, I was spending it alone in my room, sitting in silence. I went through body pain transcendence. I went to like mystical experiences, body transformation, like pretty intimated and weird stuff when you're not familiar with it. That was pretty fucked up. Like I've been through things. Like I was like, wow, like is that really healthy to do this? You know, but I was, you know, I'm in ADHD, so I just went into a topic and I just dive into it like a motherfucker. But the thing is that like everything started to take place, and like when I'm saying like high performance has been like the main root of my high performance has been the main root of my development, and this is now the main root of my training and how I develop and coach people. Meditation is the main root. Like performance is like the family, but like the exact practice is meditation. Like I've been doing this a lot, and I keep doing it. Like this is like, I know that like when I don't do it, because again I have ADHD, I have days where I don't do it. This morning I woke up late, so I haven't meditated yet. I'm going to meditate later, but like I have not meditated yet. Okay, I had a period in my life in the past 3 years where I have not meditated for maybe like 2 weeks in a row, and then I go back into it because like this is literally the thing I need the most in my life right now. Okay, but yeah, everything started to take place. I didn't need any external stimulations to feel alive. That was the truth. You know, like when you train every day, when you meditate up to an hour a day, when you practice like semen retention, I mean, like you don't need anything else in your life. You just like, fuck, I'm a fucking superhero. You know, like there's nothing that like I literally became unbreakable, and I was so discovering the meaning of life, like just being alive. Really quick, I discovered my mission, the purpose God gave me to accomplish. I knew I came on earth to help people to get out of pain by mastering their bodies and mind. That's literally what I've been able to do, and that's the reason why I decided to do the same, because I was just like, okay, like that has been like the main transformation for me. That has been like the best thing that happened in my life. Why not just turning this into a money-making activity, okay? During this journey, I lost a little bit of myself, jumping from one beast to another. Like, I mean, I have ADHD, so at the really beginning, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna help people, and because I've been writing this, but like I've been writing this like yesterday. But when 3 years ago when I was there, I was like, okay, I know that I'm going to help people, but I didn't know yet how I will help people. And the truth is, the first business I started was an online coaching business where I helped chefs to become proper chefs. Why? Because like I've been a chef for fucking 7 years, and then I ended up being a proper chef, and within a year, reached 6 figures. So I was like, okay, that's like the only skill that I can actually teach to people. Okay. So, I mean, the end goal was like, okay, I'm going to help people. I'm going to help them to get out of pain. But I didn't know like what will be the vehicle until a year ago. Because obviously I said like the first online business I started was like a private chef, like helping chefs to become private chefs. But like I had like one client and then I stopped. So like it was no business. Like you have a business when you make money, when you help people to get the results. So you actually make money. So you help people, they get the results and they pay you. That's a business. But like as long as you're not solving problems, like you don't have a business. So I was again like jumping from one beast to another without never sticking to one thing. Or actually yes, I actually stick to one thing. And that's what I discovered in March 2022 when I first started to think about ADHD coaching. March 2022, so last year, I was in Colombia. I was with a friend of mine who is actually there. He's just waking up right now. Beside me jumping from one business idea to another, my routines and my mental health never changed. I was disciplined and consistent as fuck. I was meditating every day, I was exercising every day, I was going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, training, drinking enough water, taking care to my diet, practicing semen retention. I was disciplined, I was consistent as fuck. I was a high performer. And the higher connection I had was feeling every single part of my body and of my soul. I was like, I could literally live this life forever, and that's the reason why I decided to turn this into a business, because like I want to have this life every day of my life. Like right now, you tell me, and I've been asking me this question so many times before when I was broke. I was like, okay, the day you have money, like the day you make 10k a month, the day you make 20k a month, the day you make 100k a month and above, like what your life will look like. I'm like, well, waking up at 5 a.m, meditating, like going to train, working like a little bit, developing and coaching people, and like going back home and like having a healthy lunch and going back to train and that's it, like training my family, spending time with the people I love. That's it. Like that's literally it. Like I don't want to do anything else. And so far, like I've been making the money I want to make. I mean, I haven't made 100k a month yet, but like I've been making 10k a month. I've been making 20k a month. I had a month like a 27k like 2 months ago. So like I had enough money to do everything that I wanted to do. Not yet to buy a Lambo, but that's it. Like, what's the next step? Like buying a Lambo, buying a yacht and a private jet. But like, like this won't actually fulfill me as what I'm saying, what I'm talking about right now. I know that this is the life that, again, like I'm meant to live. Okay? Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm just going to repeat, but like I was waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. With less than 8 hours sleep, but still training 2 or 3 hours a day. Well, before I needed 8 to 12 hours a day of sleep without training. So before I was like, I had a time when I was like really completely like block-minded. Like I was like 18 years old, 18 something, and I was sick. Okay, like I broke my hand and I was like in sick leave for about like a year. So I was still like doing some work, but no like as a chef. At this time, I was sleeping 12 hours a day. Why? Because I was smoking weed, I was drinking alcohol, and was taking cocaine on weekends. Now, I sleep less than 8 hours a day. I'm making an experience right now, and I see that like I can sleep like 6 hours, train 3 hours a day, work like 8 hours, and still be efficient and like not tired. I feel the fatigue, but I don't feel like the fatigue is holding me back from achieving. Okay. And the only reason why, it's because I'm living a so like healthy and intense life that like I don't need as much sleep as I should. Okay. I'm spending the first hour of my day meditating and praying God for such blessed life. So like I'm not touching my phone. I'm not waking up like feeding myself with food. That's terrible. Like imagine yourself, you wake up. So imagine the process. You wake up, you snooze. You wake up after snoozing like a couple of times, and the first thing you do is watching your phone, and after watching your phone, you go and you eat. So you literally rewarding yourself 3 times before you actually your day gets started. And like I'm not telling you that this is what is going to like make you or break you. I mean, there's millionaires they've been waking up like this forever. Okay, there are people like and they become millionaire by doing this. It's just about like your personal health, like your mental health. Like it's destroying your soul to do this thing. Why? Because again, like you're rewarding yourself. Well, like you should not reward yourself. You do not earn the right of rewarding yourself until you go and earn it. So you do not deserve the privilege to reward yourself until you go and earn it. And going and earn it means you wake up, you thank God for the blessing life you're having, you meditate, you connect with the earth, you go and you train to push your body physically, then you fast for maybe 3 hours, you give yourself a lot of water, and then you can reward yourself. You can have breakfast, let's say. You can have breakfast, you can scroll Instagram for 5 minutes, and you can do your things. Does that make sense? So yeah, we keep going. I was going to first workout session. So let's go back again. That was like my lifestyle. This is my lifestyle. Waking up by 4 or 5 a.m. even with less than 8 hours of sleep. This morning I woke up like at 6 a.m. So I had like approximately 7 hours of sleep. I had like 6 hours of sleep for the past 3 days. Training 2 or 3 hours a day. Spending the first hour of my day meditating and praying God for such best life. Going to first workout session by 6 a.m. and fasting till 8. Then following by study, applying the knowledge and sharing my work with the world. Okay, that was like literally my schedule for like 2 years. Okay, or at least like for a year and a half when I was not really running my own business. Okay, because I didn't have a business. I was just like learning how to run a business. I was always staying on point with my diet. I never went up 8% body fat, apart a few months ago when I decided to stop fighting to make gains, like to make like weight gains. I went from like 150 to 175 pounds in less than 6 months, by the way. This is actually my body transformation. This is how I was, and you can see like I was pretty ripped, okay? Like I was fighting at this time, so like I had to like keep being ripped. But yeah, 150, then here I was like 175, I think. Yeah, 175, and here I was like, it was like 2 weeks ago, I was like 170 or something. I have period where I was practicing semen retention for like 3 to 4 weeks, up to 40 days without coming at all. Tomorrow it'd be like 21 days that I'm like semen retention. Okay, so I haven't come for the past 21 days. Okay, and I want to reach like I want to overcome this number this time. Okay. So you got me. I was literally unbreakable. If all of that happened to me, it's because I decided to put myself in the position where my whole life was dedicated to my growth. That's literally it. Like I literally decided to allocate every single second of my day to my development. I was against doing pointless stuff. I was against like going to parties, having drugs, having casual sex, having like toxic friends. At this like back in the days when like I show you the pictures at the very beginning, like the 4 pictures of me like completely drunk and smoking weed and all that stuff. Like I was having sex with a different woman, like you know every month. Like every month I was like changing woman. 3 years ago I decided that to stop. Like I didn't want to have sex with a woman as long as it was not like a healthy and a worthy relationships. Okay, I rather prefer to stay alone for months than hang out with the people I grew up with. I prefer to stay alone for months than just like having casual sex with a woman I didn't care about. And being able to stick to this lifestyle for about 3 years has now allowed me to achieve absolute freedom as an ADHD business owner. And like the absolute freedom is not about the money you make. I mean, you have to make money anyway to live, but it's about how you feel. It's about like how you behave. It's about what you're able to do, to think, and to feel on a daily basis. When I started this journey, I remember myself journaling some goals that I wanted to achieve, and it was like literally like I put this on a piece of paper, and that was like helping people. Okay, I wanted to help people. I mean, as a private chef, I was helping people. Okay, but like, I mean, I was helping like really wealthy people, you know, and I mean, it was not fulfilling me as it does right now, because now I feel that I'm helping people that are suffering so much. So it feels me much more than it was feeling me when I was helping, you know, wealthy people to have more time during the day. Because that was this, you know, when you're a private chef, you just make people having more time for them, for their family. So it's a good purpose, but I was not like, wow, you know. I I wanted to learn consistently. Like I love learning, so I was like, okay, I want something. I want to be something. I want to do something professionally where I can always push myself more. I didn't want to be attached to one location, and that was the problem with being a private chef. I was making a shit ton of money. I mean, good amount of money, especially for my age. But I had to stay on the location, you know, and I had to show up in the kitchen to make money. Right now, I can I work from everywhere I want. Like now, I'm in my fucking living room, you know. Like I didn't even. I show it, you know. Like this is a underwear. Like yeah, I don't even have a pant right now on me, you know, and that's, you know, I don't have shoes. You know, so that's the life I wanted to live, you know. And I wanted to control my income with a scale opportunity, meaning that like the more results I got, the more money I make. I didn't want anymore to go pay in exchange of the time that I was giving. I wanted to get paid in exchange of the results I was providing. Okay, that's the difference between like making money and becoming wealthy. Okay, if you make money in exchange of your time, you're just fucked. If you make money in exchange of the results that you bring, then the more results you bring, then the more money you make. Today it's been a year that I'm helping ADHDers achieving absolute freedom by reaching their full potential, like I've been doing myself. So I'm literally just helping people to transform, like I've been transforming myself. From my laptop, I traveled to like 10 different countries in the past 3 years, okay? And without income limitation, as I'm my own boss and I can decide whether or not I make more money. This journey has been hectic and rough. I don't recommend anyone that is not willing to lose it all even to get started. And that's literally what I was just saying to you just at the beginning of this conversation, the beginning of this training. So like, there's no point for you to actually get started, to actually put yourself in such uncomfortable, to such painful situation if you're not willing to lose it all. Because I lost it all, okay? And I'm willing and ready to lose it all every single fucking day that goes by. Okay? In the other way, if you feel a calling, remember, from God, from purpose, from family, from pain, or from you not knowing your why, but being willing and wanting to discover it, then the path of absolute freedom might be the one for you. And I'll be down the mountain to help you climb it. Okay? That's the end of this training. I trust you enjoyed watching it. Just leave me a note, leave a comment on YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon.